Hello and good evening. Welcome back to all the fans joining us today on the Bharat Army Instagram account. आप देख रहे हैं चैट विद छाबड़ा. मैं हूं आपका होस्ट ऋषि. आईपीएल का आखिरी दिन, 7 टीम्स दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस. बात करने वाले हैं आज हम 2019 डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस मुंबई इंडियंस की. मुंबई इंडियंस जो कि आईपीएल की सबसे सक्सेसफुल टीम रह चुकी है. अगर हम बात करें तो आईपीएल ट्रॉफीज जीतने की 4 आईपीएल चैंपियनशिप जीती है उन्होंने अभी तक. 2013 में, 2015 में, 2017, 2019 4 चैंपियनशिप that they've won. One of the most stable and solid looking IPL teams this season as well. बात करेंगे आज हम मुंबई इंडियंस फैंस से. शो की शुरुआत करूंगा मैं जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कुछ फैंस को ऐड करके. आप हमें इंस्टाग्राम पे लाइव रिक्वेस्ट भेज सकते हैं. जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं आईपीएल अगले हफ्ते शनिवार से शुरू होने वाला है. Saturday, the first match will be played between Mumbai Indians, defending champion, and Chennai Super Kings, जो कि runner up रहे थे last season. 7:30 PM Indian Standard Time. And इसके पहले कि मैं पहले फैन को ऐड करूं आज के सेगमेंट में, आप सबको बता दूं, 1 lucky winner will win an IPL jersey sponsored by our partner Gully. So look out for that lucky fan. Make sure that you send in a request. Who knows, you might be the lucky fan today. चलिए ऐड करता हूं मैं पहले फैन को. Hi Anusha, welcome to the show.
Hi Rishi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Glad to be part of this, talking about my favorite team.
Great. Okay, so quickly tell me, how has the experience been in the last 6 months? Not much of live cricket, watching all over the world, traveling all over the world, not even something on the television. How the experience has been for you in the last 6 months?
Oh, it's not been good at all. I've been watching reruns of all the matches to make myself happy. But now I'm glad it's going to be back.
Okay, great. Okay, Anusha, we're discussing Mumbai Indians today on the segment. Quickly asking you, what do you think are the chances for Mumbai Indians to defend their title this year?
Okay, just a few things before we go there, just quickly. Okay, so some interesting things, like we all know, Mumbai has not won the trophy 2 times in a row. So this is going to be a good test for them. The second thing is it's going to be in UAE, where spin will play a big part. I also think there'll be a due factor, which means a lot of teams might want to chase. Mumbai Indians anyway love to do that. The other thing is on the ground dimensions. So I read somewhere Abu Dhabi 49% of the runs only come in boundary. So it's also important for Mumbai Indians to consider that while they do that. And it'll be interesting to see how Rohit does that, knowing his love for running. And also, when Mumbai Indians played in 2014 in UAE, we lost all 5. That's going to play in their mind as well. Okay, so these are a few things which I think they'll keep in mind. And about their chances, I think they have a good chance. But I also have some concerns this time. So I can start with the opening. The core remains the same. The biggest problem is Malinga is missing, which we all know is a big factor. In opening, though, I think is a good combination of Rohit, De Kock, Lin. If they fire, we have a great chance. But it will also be interesting to see how Rohit plays spin in the slow pitches. He likes the ball coming onto the back. So it will be interesting to see that. And I won't be surprised if we start with spinners. A lot of teams start with spinners in the later part of the tournament. So that will also be a very interesting. My concern is 3 and 4. Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Aditya Tare, right? If we have that option, there is not a lot of experience there. Those Surya Kumar and Ishan Kishan, it'll be interesting if Hardik can maybe play 4, sometimes 3, so that he can manage that position as well. Going forward, the all-rounders, I think they're good. The Krunal brothers, Pollard, and watch out for Pollard. It's coming off a great rate greater than 50, rate over 200. So I think that's going to be a big positive for Mumbai Indians. Again, so 3 and 4 is one concern I have. Bowling, spinning department, I don't know. I'm not very confident there. With Krunal and Rahul, only 2 guys there.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that, a lot of fans have also mentioned this, that UAE is going to be a different game altogether when it comes to slow and turning tracks. Talking about 2017 and 2019, Mumbai Indians went on to, defend a very small, very low average target, 148, 149, 150 kind of target. And, they managed to win the finals by just a margin of 1 run and 2 runs. Something that Mumbai Indians captain Rohit Sharma has been really good at, defending low targets. Something that's going to be playing in his mind. How important do you think, winning those initial games in UAE will be, so that you make sure that you make it to the playoffs?
See, there are 2 things about Mumbai Indians. When they start well, they've not been doing well consistently. So I'm okay, they start slow. They've been slow starters, but they go on to win. So I'm fine with that. So it's good if they start slow. But see, all these low totals, if we have to remember Malinga was there. That's a big miss this time. So Bumrah, Malinga in that condition would have been literally unplayable. So I worry about that part.
I definitely remember Malinga bowling the last over in the 2019 IPL final where he defended 9 runs of his bowling. I mean, that was a great comeback for Mumbai Indians. So, talking about Ishan Kishan, I see a lot of hype around Rishabh Pant. People know that, okay, Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan were in the same team during the under 19 days. They both explosive wicket-keeper batsmen. How important do you think the season will be for Ishan Kishan to make sure that, the selectors consider him for the international circuit in the domestic over cricket?
See, I think that's why I said 3 and 4 are extremely important, right? 3, 4, 5. Yeah. If he does well there, the middle order is sorted. And I think that will make a huge impact if he does a good job there.
Now, you were saying about Kieron Pollard. 12 out of 12 matches as a captain in the Caribbean Premier League wins. Some explosive batting we saw the other day, when he single-handedly managed to win a match for the TKR. So Pollard will be an important factor. But, the fact that Hardik Pandya hasn't played a lot of international cricket because of his back injury. How important these two players are for Mumbai Indians this season?
Oh, I think they are absolutely critical. The all-rounder ability that they bring in and the energy that these two bring into the squad is extremely important. I think Hardik will be ultra hungry, and I think that goes well for Mumbai Indians. And Pollard is at his dangerous best when he is positive. So I think those two are going to do really well for us.
Perfect. Anusha, before we end this segment with you, quickly tell us who do you think is going to make it to the finals along with Mumbai Indians?
I think it'll be Delhi.
Delhi? Okay. A young side led by Shreyas Iyer. Well, that is going to be a good competition, Delhi versus Mumbai. Hopefully, we'll see a new champion as well this year in the IPL. Who knows? Anusha, thank you so much for joining us today on the show. It was great having you. Okay, that was Anusha, who was 2 times IPL, 2 times Bharat Army Fan of the Year champion as well. हमसे बात करते हुए मुंबई इंडियंस के बारे में आई थिंक बहुत ही वैलिड पॉइंट्स रखे अनुषा ने. एक तो कायरन पोलार्ड एंड हार्दिक पांड्या के बारे में, एक्सप्लोसिव बैट्समैन, ऑलराउंडर, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाले मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए. मुंबई इंडियंस जो कि चेस करना भी पसंद करते हैं बट लो टारगेट्स भी डिफेंड कर सकते हैं. चलिए बात करते हैं अगले फैन से. चलिए सिद्धांत, सबसे पहले तो हमें ये बताइए, लगता क्या है आईपीएल टाइटल डिफेंड करने के क्या चांसेस है मुंबई इंडियन के इस साल?
What I believe is that MI has the maximum chance to defend this title just because they are a very good chasing team. Okay, so if you see after 2016, they have been the best chasing team across all other teams. Okay, and UAE, if you see, the team that chases well have won 66% of the matches. So it's all going to be MI and how do they chase. The only point that is tickling me is that they should not change their batting order. Rohit Sharma has to open anyhow, because if you see towards the start, Rohit Sharma will open and then he would send someone else up and then he would play at 4. So that thing should not happen any chance. Rohit Sharma should open with anyone, be it Krishlin or be it Quinton de Kock. If possible, you can just tinker with the squad and try to keep Quinton de Kock or Krishlin on the number 3. But the main thing is Rohit Sharma has to open.
Perfect. You're talking about Rohit Sharma, like you said, should open. He's open for India in the domestic, like the international circuit as well in T20 and one day. But talking about Hardik Pandya and Krunal Pandya, the 2 Pandya brothers, how important they will be, because they're a perfect fit for all-rounders, how important they will be for Mumbai this season?
What I believe is that MI has never tried Pandya and at the number 4. So why don't we give a chance to Pandya brothers to play at number 4 and number 5? Because they are very explosive batsmen. Kunal Pandya is a bit underrated, but trust me, if he gets a chance and he has a balls to play, because eventually he will take at least 2-3 balls. But yes, once they both are set, they are going to change the match totally into MI's favor. And these 2 brothers are going to change the momentum from MI. That is sure.
Okay. Well, we definitely know how damaging Krunal Pandya can be, because he was the one who scored those quick runs in the 2017 IPL finals against rising Pune Super Giants. चलिए अब हमें ये बताइए, अगर आपको अगर हम आपसे बात करें ऐसे कौन से 4 इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स होंगे जो मुंबई इंडियंस को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, क्या लगता है who will make it to the playing 11 for internationals?
What I feel is there would be Krishlin for all matches because Krishlin is a very explosive batsman. Quinton de Kock would also be there because he is going to keep the wickets. So these two guys are going to be there. The next one is the next one is going to be Kieron Pollard, and the last one is going to be Mitchell because he has always been able to give us the starting wickets that we need. He might be considering some runs also, but yes, he is a very key player in this tie. So yes, these 4 players might be playing the maximum of the games, and if you tinker out with the score, then yes, we can have the rest of them. But yes, these 4 are the core, the crux that of the international players that MI is going to play this season.
चलिए क्विकली हमें ये बताइए मोस्ट वैल्यूएबल प्लेयर एमवीपी कौन रहने वाला है इस बारी मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए?
Look, the MVP is always and always Jasprit Bumrah only. Just I tell you one thing, he might not take those wickets, but he won't give you any runs. You have to strive very, very hard to score against him. I am telling you, in a T20 match, your focus is not to take those wickets. Your focus is mostly to defend the runs or to not give runs. And Bumrah is the world best in this format. So it's going because if you see that when we are bowling first, Bumrah is going to be the key player that is going to change the entire moment for Mumbai Indians. So yes, that is Bumrah.
Bumrah, a very good pick. बस प्रे करते हैं कि वो नो बॉल्स ना डालें इतने जो उनके उनकी आदत है स्टेपिंग ओवर द लाइन. सिद्धांत, हमसे बात करने के लिए आज बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. इट वाज ग्रेट हैविंग यू ऑन द शो. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thanks a lot. I would be there till the end of the chat to see all those conversations. So yeah, I am going to be here.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot for having me. Wait, I'll just take a screenshot.
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Okay, एक और हार्डकोर मुंबई इंडियंस फैंस बताते हुए हमें क्या लगता है, उन्हें क्या चांसेस है मुंबई इंडियंस के आईपीएल जीतने के इस बारी. फैंस, आप हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में भी बता सकते हैं आपको क्या लगता है, आईपीएल जीतेगी नहीं जीतेगी. मेरे से पूछे तो भैया चांसेस नहीं है. सीएसके इस साल जीतने वाली है. हर बारी हमने देखा है मुंबई इंडियंस 13, 15, 17, 19, 2021 में हम शायद देखेंगे मुंबई इंडियंस का कोई चांस होगा. चलिए अब बात करते हैं अगले मुंबई इंडियंस फैन से. कौन है वो लकी फैन? वी हैव अ वेरी स्पेशल ग्रुप joining us today. Hi, welcome to the show, and quickly tell me your name and the group you belong to.
I am Harshal Karkhanis.
Okay.
I am representing our stand gang right now.
Okay.
The core gang, the stand, which is we are very proud of, which we are there, the north of Wankhede Stadium.
Okay, great. Harshal, welcome to the show and thank you so much for taking out the time and talking to us today. Mumbai Indians won't be playing any games at Wankhede. None of the teams are playing in India anymore. How disappointed are you guys not being able to watch the matches at the ground live?
That's the most disappointing thing of this IPL this year, 2020. Like the fans are not going to be there on the ground engaging with the cricket year, and that's going to be missed a lot. Okay, like the entire gang, we haven't we make sure to be there in the match, all the matches which Mumbai plays at their home ground. We are, and our representatives, even if they are in the other cities and all, we have our representatives who are there, and we make sure they pack the crowd with that. And this year, yes, without the crowd, behind a closed door, it's going to be a really different experience even for the players this year.
Perfect. Now, quickly tell us, what do you think are the chances for Mumbai Indians to defend the IPL title this year?
This year, as we are coming in this 2020 year, okay, we are as a champions, and for defending, if you see the fast track record of Mumbai, every alternate years which we have won, 13, then 14, which was there, it was a bad year for Mumbai. 15, 17 was a bad year for Mumbai. Again, it was a bad year. Unfortunately, the 14, which was there, 2014, which we had a half of the IPL in UAE also, where we had a really off track of 5 losses in on track. Okay, so seeing the things and all, we should as in leave it behind, get on this 2020, and if you see the squad of Mumbai this year, okay, I see a very balanced side. Okay, good, and without Malinga, okay, this year we have a really bowling line which has never been the strength of Mumbai as a strong bowling lineup here. All dependence, it was only on Malinga and Jasprit. But this year the bowling lineup is like with the pace attack. We have trained bowlers, James Patterson, who has come in now in a replacement for Malinga. Then we have Nathan Kurtanaj, who has been in and out of Mumbai squad regularly. Then we have McCallan, Mitchell. So the 4 bowlers. Apart from that, we have Hardik and Kiran Pollard, who had a terrific CPL, who's gonna definitely be used to roll his arm over. So the bowling attack, the seam attack is good. Apart from that, spinner, the Indian side, if you see, who's gonna be certainty playing from my end, bowler, Dhaval. Okay, he has a good season, on and off good season for his side which has played in. But this year, if you see, Dhaval, he is gonna be the mainstay. He, along with Jasprit, who are gonna be the part of the playing 11 most of the time.
Okay.
For Dhaval, it will be good side with the bowling attack this year, which you are playing.
Now, we've always seen Mumbai Indians have been one of those teams who have been the slow starters in IPL, not winning a lot of games in the beginning of the season, and then pressure adding up that you have to win every single game on the trot. And that somewhere brings out the best in the Mumbai Indians squad. But, in such a long tournament, how important do you think is to win the beginning few games in the IPL?
It is always important when it's a long tournament. You're gonna have some loss and some wins behind your back, okay? And also, like teams like CSK, who has always had a good track record of keeping a good moment of win, okay? But Mumbai has always win loss, and they have carried on to their the qualifying stage, as in the knockout stage.
Yeah.
And that's this year. But this year, all teams are gonna be a bit of rigid, okay? Lack of cricket, and it's not like the other years which we played and like 19, 18 and all, where our international tournament, be it World Cup, be it any Test series, One Day series, they straight back into the one day cricket, as in the IPL. But this year they coming after of almost 6 months.
Yes,
that is for all, and none of the Indian players have as in the T20, as in the limited overs cricket, has not played a cricket since February. So that's gonna be for each and every team. Okay.
Exactly.
So one kickstart, as in if you get a good kickstart, you need to keep that momentum of win, and that be really good. If that Mumbai can break their own sync of like win loss. If we get the momentum of win, we need to keep that and stay to that.
Perfect. Now, before I end this segment with you, quickly tell us one player who you think will be the orange cap winner for Mumbai and the purple cap winner as well.
The heavy loads are again Rohit Sharma all the time for batting lineup, which we and ball which I'm putting my the purple cap. This would be I don't know, but I'm feeling a Trent Bolt who will get it as in short to play most of the matches, and he had a good season for Delhi also in the past and all, and he has always been on the top wicket takers. And I'm putting my orange cap, the purple cap on Trent Bolt this time for Mumbai Indians.
Perfect. Now, before I let you go today, quickly tell all the Mumbai Indians and Mumbai fans, how can one become a member of the North Stand gang?
Oh, that's really great. It's an open thing. It's just like you need to be a hardcore cricket fan. Okay. We are a good members of around 60 to 70 people who are there currently in the North Stand members right now.
Okay.
All are passionate fans. Okay. Be it domestic cricket, every one of us, like we follow the domestic cricket, international, IPL and everything, like we follow. Like we have the people in a group. Okay. If there's a Ranji match happening in Mumbai, and if they have time within their office or do something, like we make sure to be there at least for one session, watch a match and go back. And yes, just we need passionate people who can be there with us in the stand, cheer for our team, and that's what you require to be a part of North Stand gang.
Perfect. It was great talking to you today on the show. Thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us. Thank you. Well, that was Harshal from the North Stand gang, one of the hardcore supporter group of Mumbai Indians and Mumbai Cricket. Like he said, कोशिश करते हैं वो domestic matches हो या T20 हो या international cricket हो, सारे matches में वो अपना presence दिखाएं. चलिए बात करते हैं अगले क्रिकेट फैंस से. Now, quickly tell us, मुंबई इंडियंस के बारे में आज हम बात कर रहे हैं. क्या लगता है आपको, चांसेस क्या है एमआई के टाइटल डिफेंड करने के इस साल?
आई थिंक मुझे लगता है 100% चांसेस है मुंबई के टू डिफेंड द टाइटल. दे हैव अ वेरी बैलेंस स्क्वाड. उनका स्क्वाड काफी अच्छा है. इफ यू सी बॉलर्स आल्सो, इफ यू सी द बैट्समैन साइड आल्सो, दे हैव अ गुड बैलेंस ऑफ experienced and young players, as well as the foreign batsmen. So yeah, overseas batsmen. So yeah, they have a very good chance to win this year again.
चलिए बहुत अच्छे चांसेस हैं as per your prediction. Quickly tell us क्या लगता है टॉप परफॉर्मिंग प्लेयर कौन रहने वाला है बॉलिंग डिपार्टमेंट में इस बार मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए?
I think Rahul Chahar and Jasprit Bumrah for the bowling department.
राहुल चहर की अगर आपने बात की तो पता है कि एक भाई फास्ट बॉलर चेन्नई के लिए खेलता है, एक भाई स्पिनर मुंबई के लिए खेलता है. स्पिनर जो है यहाँ पे वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाले मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए बिकॉज टर्निंग ट्रैक रहेगा. आईपीएल में हमने देखा है मुंबई इंडियंस की हर बारी शुरुआत जो होती है वो बहुत धीरे होती है. तो लगता है आपको कि इस बार जो इनके टैक्टिक्स है वो चेंज करने चाहिए और थोड़ा aggressive खेलना चाहिए?
Yeah, obviously, as Rohit Sharma ने भी बोला है कि towards the business end they come together, but this time they will try to win every matches right from the first game, and I think they should come together, and they really have a good supporting staff as well, and they have a good balanced team. So I think from the start they will be on the top of their game, and they will start winning this.
Perfect. And who do you think is going to make it to the finals along with Mumbai Indians?
It's a tough choice between CSK and Delhi Capitals.
Okay, if you have to pick one, quickly tell us your one team.
I think CSK.
Perfect. I think 2019 का बदला लेने वाले हम MI से इस बारी. Fingers crossed. It's going to be a very good IPL season. I'm sure a lot of players are looking to perform well. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. It was great having you back on the show today. Okay, चलिए बात करते हैं अगले मुंबई इंडियन फैन से. Hi Dave, welcome to the show. I believe you're joining us live from London, is that correct?
Yeah, I am.
Great. Mumbai Indians fans all over the world, huh?
Yeah, definitely. We love it.
Perfect. Okay, quickly tell us, do you think it's possible that Mumbai Indians can go on and defend their IPL title this year?
Definitely. I think the team, as we all know, is the most experienced in the whole competition. We've won it 4 times, and I think really important is the experience of players such as Rohit Sharma, Kyron Pollard. They have the experience of winning, and they are really strong players, and the whole team seems to work really well.
Okay, now talking about Mumbai Indians, I was going through their team. It looks like a very balanced side. We've seen Rohit Sharma shuffle around the top order a lot. He's sometimes batting top the order, sometimes he's coming 1 down, 2 down. Do you think it's time that Rohit Sharma should take on that responsibility and open the innings for MI?
I think definitely he is undoubtedly, I think, one of the best openers, not just in Indian cricket and Mumbai cricket, but in the world. And I think we've seen him bat at the top of the order for India, and I think he should stay there because that seems like his natural position and where he wishes to bat. I think he should stay there and open with Quinton de Kock.
Okay. And, talking about the bowling attack that Mumbai has, who do you think will be the most lethal bowler for Mumbai Indians this season?
I think there will be 2. Of course, Bumrah. He's, I think, the best fast bowler in the world. He has a brilliant slower ball. But I also think people need to look at Rahul Chahar because last season, I think brilliantly, especially in the final, I think he took 1 for 14. And we all know the UAE pitches could be quite spinner friendly. And I think he's going to be an important bowler for Mumbai.
Perfect. Not talking about the batting lineup, we've already discussed the bowling. Hardik Pandya is coming back from a very bad back injury. We know how crucial Hardik Pandya is for the Mumbai Indians setup. How do you think he should be doing this IPL? Should go out all guns blazing, or should Mumbai Indians hold him back towards the end of the season and then see how he performs?
I personally would like to see him used from the front purely because he is such an important player for Mumbai. He bats, he bowls, he is such an explosive. His bowling, I think, has actually come on a long way from a long time ago, and he could be a really useful weapon for Mumbai. Yeah, I think he's a really explosive batter, and I think he is a really important weapon to this Mumbai team. He's been there since 2015. He's won nearly three titles already. I think we should use him from the front and try to lay down a marker and not be seen as the team that has a slow start again.
Perfect. And before we end this segment with you, Dev, quickly tell us your pick for the finals this year. 2 teams other than like Mumbai Indians. Who do you think will make it to the finals?
I think it has to be Delhi Capitals. Before I would have said Chennai, but now I'd say Delhi because Chennai have lost Suresh Raina, and I think he's a really important player. But I think Delhi with that very team, strong captain, will be really strong. Perfect.
I think it is very important that a team like Delhi performs well as well, a very young squad and a very balanced side as well. Chaliye, thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us today.
hopefully, Mumbai Indians might go ahead and defend their title for the 5th time.
चलिए, बहुत ही interesting one-to-one with a fan all the way from London. चलिए, quickly adding the next fan as well.
Hi, quickly tell us your name and which city are you from?
Hi Rishi, I am Shreyank Jain. I am from the Scotland of India, that is Kurk, Karnataka. I'm following Mumbai Indians from 2008.
2008, great. So,
Yes.
2008 to 2012, they had to wait a long time and then they went on to win an IPL trophy in 2013.
Yes.
Do you think that's going to happen again this year? They're going to win the IPL?
Obviously, they will win the IPL this year because they have a very good, pretty much balanced squad compared to the rest of the IPL teams. And each and every spot has been covered. We had a setback, like we lost Malinga due to his problems with his family. But we have got pretty much bowling attack like in Trent Bolt, Dhaval Kulkarni, who can come in and bowl those pretty much good overs in the middle.
Okay. And what do you think are the chances for, Mumbai to have a solid Dhasu start at the beginning of the season rather than, Mumbai being Mumbai, starting off slow and then winning all the matches at the end of the tournament?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question you're asking because from 2013 only, they are very much slow starters. I remember 2015, they lost 4 matches in the front and they had a challenge of winning 9 matches out of 10. So only thing the strategy must be like it's a spin friendly pitch. Like we must be making sure that Surya Kumar either come in at the number 3 and make sure Pollard and Hardik Pandya sent up the order so that they are the pretty much good players of the spin as well. So that they can take on spinners like Imran Tahir, Yuzi Chahal, anyone.
Okay. Now, you spoke about Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya. We know that UAE pitches are going to be a really big turner, slow track. So, in a situation where Mumbai is needing 20 runs of the last 3 overs, players like Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya can come in handy. How important do you think is their role as an explosive all-rounder in this Mumbai Indian team?
That role are pretty much same to be a finisher. Like you have seen matches like in the matches versus last year with Kingsale and Punjab. Rohit was not there. Pollard took up the captaincy. He finished the match like anything. So they are the individual players like who has to come for each and every match, take up the role like I will finish this match. Like Hardik Pandya, it might be Krunal Pandya, and you can send Nathan Kuntal, and you must be knowing his knock versus West Indies in the World Cup in 2019 versus the West Indies. He can also play big ones with more spinners as well.
Okay, now before we end this segment with you, quickly tell us your pick for Mumbai Indians, the orange cap and the purple cap winner if there have to be any.
Yeah, so from orange cap it will be like Sky, Surya Kumar Yadav, because only thing is like he plays the spinners pretty well. And it will be a toss-up between Rohit Sharma and Sky. And for this purple cap, it will be Boom Bumrah.
Okay. Well, one pick that you picked for the orange cap, Surya Kumar Yadav, one domestic player that I really want to perform well because he is one of the most technical sound player that we have in the IPL. And time and again, he's had those match-winning knocks for Mumbai and before that for KKR. So hopefully, we will get to see a few more talents coming out of IPL this year. Perfect. Shreyank, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us the insight.
Before you end this, I want to give a quote for all the fans, RCB, CSK, KKR, everyone. On behalf of Hardik Pandya, watch out guys. A lion is dangerous, a wounded lion is more dangerous. Thank you.
Perfect. चलिए, तुमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you so much. Perfect.
मजा आता है ऐसे फैन से बात करने में. चलिए, quickly ऐड करता हूँ मैं अगले फैन को.
Hi Maulik, शो पे आपका स्वागत है.
Hi Rishi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
चलिए, सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए, मुंबई इंडियंस के चांसेस हैं आईपीएल टाइटल डिफेंड करने के?
100%.
Okay.
100%. We will surely retain the title this time.
यार, जो हम हिस्ट्री देखा अगर मुंबई इंडियंस की, पहले तो 2012 तक उन्होंने कोई आईपीएल नहीं जीता था. 13, 15, 17, 19, तो अगर हम ये फॉर्मेट फॉलो करें तो 2021 में चांस बनता है, 20 में तो नहीं है.
I'll justify by क्योंकि मुंबई इंडियंस का कोर टीम हमेशा सेम रहा है. आप देखेंगे मुंबई इंडियंस की लाइनअप, देव ऑलवेज बैंक्ड ऑन देयर कोर टीम. रोहित शर्मा, Pandya brothers, Pollard, Bumrah, Malinga. So they have the core people are there since 4 to 5 years in the team. They know the team atmosphere. उनको सारी चीजें पता है कि मैच कब जीतना है, कब प्रेशर लेना है, कब यंगस्टर को प्रेशर से बाहर निकालना है. And so I think this time it's very important. And if you see the picks, if you see Mumbai Indians ने कौन से जगह पे फोकस किया किया है, उनके पास हर एक पोजीशन के लिए एक बैकअप प्लेयर है.
एग्जैक्टली.
ओपनर हो गया, मिडिल ऑर्डर हो गया, स्पिन बॉलिंग हो गया, फास्ट बॉलिंग में हो गया, प्लस इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स के लिए भी एवरी पोजीशन में उनके पास एक सेम टू सेम बैकअप प्लेयर है.
एग्जैक्टली.
तो मुंबई को आई डोंट थिंक कुछ प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है. द ओनली थिंग इज इफ दे डोंट हैव द ओल्ड बैगेज, जो यूएई में लास्ट टाइम वो लोग ने बहुत पुअर परफॉर्मेंस किया था, इफ यू रिमेंबर, बस वो दे शुडंट हैव दैट monkey behind their backs. Otherwise, Mumbai Indians is going to be very, very smooth.
I think very valid point. One of the most stable looking side in the IPL and probably their most stable side throughout the IPL seasons. We can see. Now, talking about Rohit Sharma, who do you think his opening partner should be this season?
I beg to differ here. You will only find me saying I wouldn't want Rohit to open.
Okay. Okay.
I would really want Chris Lynn and Quinton de Kock to open.
Okay.
Simply because they both are the explosive batsmen. If you have to play them, it has to be opening spot. And I want Rohit to come one down. I want that stability in middle order where Rohit can hold things up, because UAE will be a slow pitches. We don't want our best player who's going to play the spin well to open. I want him to come one down, have that little stability, because if you see Pollard, Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya, everyone coming in the middle order. So regarding playing spin, it's Rohit Sharma who can play them way better. And then if you want Chris Lynn, to be in the team, in the 11, he has to open.
Perfect. A very valid point that, hold back Rohit Sharma when the spinners come into attack. Perfect. I think that can change according to match situation where a team has, hard going spinners. Okay. Now, talking about Hardik Pandya, he hasn't played much international cricket, coming back from a back injury. A lot of people say that his, six hitting capability is over. He's not more the same Hardik Pandya that he used to be. Looking at his workout videos and everything, looks really fit. How important do you think Hardik will be for the Mumbai Indians this season?
If you see, Hardik Pandya is a key player for Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
One, they play them as an all-rounder. So he gives you that bowling strength, he gives you that batting, and he gives you that fielding thing. One, if he's not so fit, you can play him as a plain batsman who can come in the middle order, slog it up and give those important runs. So if I don't know how fit is he, the fitness which is there in the gym is different. A match fitness is a totally different thing. Initially, I would want Hardik Pandya just to play as a batsman. We have got enough bowlers in Mumbai Indians who can share that load. I would want Hardik Pandya just to play as a batsman and just express himself, play for a couple of matches, see how is he feeling, and then we can see whether he can bowl or not. But as a batsman, Hardik Pandya, we can never underestimate him. His six hitting abilities is nowhere compared. He's as good as any good all-rounder in T20 we have in the world.
Absolutely. I think, वो लंबे खड़े छक्के मार सकते हैं, दौड़ने की तो जरूरत ही नहीं है. चलिए बात करते हैं मुंबई इंडियंस के बॉलिंग अटैक की. बॉलिंग अटैक क्या लगता है आपको, स्टेबल है या मलिंगा के नहीं होने से एक डिसएडवांटेज होगा मुंबई इंडियंस को?
मलिंगा नहीं होने से डिसएडवांटेज तो रहने वाला है. वो काफी एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर थे और मुंबई इंडियंस के साथ ही इज द वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट प्लेयर ऑफ मुंबई इंडियंस.
Exactly.
So he knows the team culture, and he was a mentor also, if I'm not wrong. But we have got good replacements. Looking at UAE, we have got good fast bowlers to bowl. Say Bumrah, we have got Dhaval Kulkarni, we have got McLagan, we have got Nathan Kuntanai and Bolt. So we've got good amount of fast bowlers who can replace Malinga. Plus UAE की pitches के हिसाब से we'll need more of spin bowlers, and Mumbai Indians they've invested in good Indian domestic spin bowlers. Rahul Chahar, Jayant Yadav. Then we have this Prince who is a mystery bowler. Nobody has seen him. So spinners will play a key role. So I don't think because the matches are going to be played in UAE, Malinga wouldn't be missed so much because we have players who can replace him. Bolt, McLagan, Nathan Quantanai, and how can I forget James Pattinson?
Absolutely. Well, one thing that I personally believe, कोई भी एक प्लेयर टीम में हो या ना हो, बाकी जो प्लेइंग 11 होते हैं वो मैच आपको जरूर जिता सकते हैं at any given point of day. Perfect. चलिए हमसे बात करने के लिए आज बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you so much. जल्दी से ऐड करता हूँ एक और फैन को. Very interesting guest joining us. Hi Rax, welcome to the show.
Hey Rishi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, bro. Good.
I see you're not wearing your usual Bharat Army jersey, huh?
Mumbai all the way.
Mumbai all the way. Okay. Perfect. So, quickly talking to you about Mumbai's chances this year to defend their IPL title. What do you think?
You know what? I've watched all of the shows that you've hosted with all of the teams, and I think a lot of the fans have put up some very good arguments to suggest why they have a balanced side, they have a good international players, etc., etc. You know, I think there's a few factors to consider before I answer your question about Mumbai's chances. Yeah, I think the first point is that a lot of the players, apart from maybe the English players and a couple of the Australians and West Indians, haven't played cricket. The Indian players haven't played cricket for 6 months, right?
Exactly.
So form goes completely out of the window, right? Because nobody's played any cricket, you know, for a long period of time, right? So any team that has a good bench of English players, maybe some Australian players, and maybe some West Indians players who have just had form in the CPL, I think they've got a slight advantage over everybody else, right? Because they've had that match practice, which most of the Indian players haven't had. Okay. So therefore, teams like Rajasthan Royals, who have players like Josh Butler and Stokes and Archer, all of a sudden you're looking at that team, and I think that team, you could argue, probably has some form players. Yeah, you've got players like Steve Smith, who's playing currently in England as well. You know, that's a pretty good lineup of players who will have some form coming into the tournament, right? So for me, I think it's a difficult one, right? Because I think all the teams come in at a level par. And I think in previous IPLs, you can look at the strength of a squad and you can probably say, you know, CSK have a strong squad, Mumbai has a strong squad, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I think this time, I think that kind of goes out of the window, and I think any team can win it. And I think, can Mumbai win it again? I think they've got a good squad again. You know, I think we're a little bit light in the bowling department, if I'm honest with you. You know, I know that we said that we've got, you know, Jasprit Bumrah, we've got good experience with players like Bolt. I don't think our spinners are as strong as they need to be going into, you know, the UAE and the pitches that, like everybody has spoken about. You know, have we got any world-class spinners in our side? Not really, you know. So I think, you know, I think Mumbai have to play very, very well. You know, they need the top players to perform. Obviously, they need Rohit to perform. You know, they need Jasprit Bumrah to take a bag of wickets. They need Hardik Pandya, you know, in form with bat and ball. They need Kunal Pandya in form with bat and ball. A lot has to go right, you know. And I think Mumbai's biggest challenge is their bench strength. You know, if I look at their bench strength and I look at some of the other teams, I think some of the other teams' bench strength is much better than Mumbai's, right? So therefore, you're looking for that core team to perform for most of those matches. And if they don't, I think they might find it challenging.
And, you know, talking about the core strength performing, especially at the beginning of the tournament, because like you said, you know, every single team is at par given the situation. They haven't played any cricket. So winning those matches at the beginning of the tournament can make you go a very long way, especially finishing top 2 where you get 2 chances to play in the finals. Now, you know, quickly talking about the all-rounders in Mumbai Indians. Kieron Pollard, we know what an amazing Caribbean Premier League he had. On the other hand, Hardik Pandya coming from back from a very bad back injury. How important do you think they're going to be for Mumbai Indians this season?
I think experience is so important, right? You're playing in a different environment, you know, different conditions. And I think those players who have got that level of experience in playing in different environments and conditions is very important, right? And you talked about sort of having a good start. Momentum is really important, right? You saw in the CPL, you know, how, you know, Kieron Pollard led his team to an unbeaten tournament, right? So if you can get a good start, I think it's those experienced players that takes you over the line. It's those experienced players, you know, that when the game is 50-50, they will help you win those matches. So I think experience is so important, you know, and I think that's where Mumbai's strength is. If you look at their core team and the experience they have, but like I said to you, right, any injuries, any loss of forms, and do we really have the bench strength that we need to win the tournament? I'm not so sure.
Okay. Now, you know, we know Rohit Sharma went on to win that Asia Cup in Dubai a few years ago. How important that experience is going to be for Rohit Sharma as a captaining IPL Mumbai Indians team? And also, do you think he's the perfect fit to open for Mumbai Indians this season?
Yeah, I'll answer the second question first. So should he open? 100%, right? You need your best batsman batting most of your overs in 20-over cricket, right? So Rohit Sharma is not just the best batsman for Mumbai Indians, he's the best batsman, one of the best opening batsmen in the world in white ball cricket, right? Therefore, if there's 20 overs, he has to bat 20 overs, right? Whether he succeeds or fails, that's another question, right? You know, you don't win a match with one player, right?
Exactly.
So, but he has to bat and open the innings for sure. From a captaincy point of view, a lot of people have talked about, Rohit Sharma's captaincy in IPL, and how he's led, Mumbai Indians to, victories in the IPL. Let's remember, there were times where people were questioning Rohit Sharma's captaincy. Even himself, he questioned his own captaincy, right? But what we have now is a captain who has played in all formats of cricket around the world. He has captained India as well to titles. And he's got experience now, right? He's got experience of losing and he's got experience of winning. Yeah. That's very, very important in any tournament of any kind, So I think he's definitely got the experience, and there's a lot that he will bring to that team. But like I said to you, right, I think it's not a one-man sport, right? You need a whole team to perform.
Exactly.
So Rohit needs everybody else to step up as well. Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, quickly tell us, your pick in the Mumbai Indians squad, one for the orange cap and one for the purple cap.
Look, I think for the orange cap, if Mumbai Indians are going to win the title again, I think Rohit Sharma needs to have an outstanding tournament, if I'm really honest. I think, the likes of De Kock and Lin, Hardik Pandya even a little bit lower down the order, Ishan Kishan, if he gets a go, I think all these players have to contribute. But for Mumbai to win the tournament, I think, he has to win the orange cap. He has to go big. Yeah. So for batting, I think it's him. From a purple, you know what? It's an interesting one here, right? Because like I said to you earlier on, it's interesting. Somebody said that actually, Jasprit Bumrah plays a very important role for Mumbai. He doesn't necessarily take wickets, but what he does do is he stops the runs, right? And people, the batsmen also, they fear losing their wicket to him, so they don't attack him. Yeah. So I don't think Jasprit Bumrah necessarily will win the purple cap. However, if I was going to pick one, bowler, I'm going to go a little bit left field and say Kunal Pandya potentially, with the wickets, he could be quite dangerous. Yeah, he's quite economical. He's not that easy to hit. So he could potentially, if he gets some momentum, get some form, he potentially could take a lot of wickets.
Absolutely. I think, given the fact that Lasith Malinga has opted out of the IPL this season, Bumrah is the go-to player for Mumbai Indians. I won't agree, whether he has to take those wickets or not. But if there's an over where he has to defend 9 to 10 runs to win the IPL again, Bumrah might be your go-to man. Now, quickly talking about Ishan Kishan, one player that I personally believe, has a lot of potential, but he's been underperforming in the IPL. With MS Dhoni not being there in international cricket, do you think it's going to be his season where he has to perform to make sure the selectors are keeping an eye on him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm an Indian batting wicketkeeper in the IPL, I'm super excited to for this tournament, right? Because there's an opportunity for you to be the future wicket-keeping batsman of white ball cricket and Test cricket potentially as well, right? For India, right? So the likes of Ishan Kishan, the likes of Sanju Samson, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul potentially even, there's just 4 players just there that I've mentioned that potentially, if they have a good IPL, they could be the future for white ball cricket in Indian, for India, right? So Ishan Kishan's a difficult one, right? Because he's the only one out of the ones I've mentioned that's not even been picked in a squad yet, So I think this is his time, this is his time to step up. He's shown a lot of potential. But he's got to turn that potential, and deliver for Mumbai Indians if he gets the opportunity, right? That's the other point. If he gets the opportunity, right? So it'll be very interesting to see if he does get the opportunity, does he deliver? And we know the talent that he has, so potentially he could do some damage for sure.
Okay, now, quickly ending this IPL chat with you. Last question. Your pick for the finals, if Mumbai Indians make it, who do you think will the other team be?
Okay, well, for the Mumbai Indian fans out there, don't hate me, right? But I don't think Mumbai Indians will make the final. Okay. So, as much as I'm a hardcore Mumbai Indians fan, I like to give subjective views, right? And my subjective view is that I think Delhi Capitals will make the final. Yeah. And I think Delhi Capitals will play Rajasthan Royals in the final. And the reason why I say that is because I think both squads are people mention the word balance, right? But those two teams have the best balanced sides. If you go right from top to bottom, both of them have very well balanced sides. And I think those two teams will make the final. So maybe let's look back, right? Everyone else has gone for Mumbai Indians. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it will be Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals that make the final.
Okay, now all the fans watching this...
Mumbai will make the playoffs, though, Rishi. We'll make the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, all the fans who are watching this show, let me tell you something very interesting. Rakesh Patel had actually picked out India making it to the semi-finals of the 2019 World Cup. As per his prediction, they were just the semi-finalists, and he did predict England to win on the 2019 World Cup. So you never know, your prediction might come true this IPL as well. Okay, now, moving ahead from IPL, talking about Bharat Army's association with the IPL, tell us what new is coming this season for the fans watching IPL.
Yeah, I mean, first things first, right? I mean, like a lot of the fans that we've had on our shows, we want to be in the stadiums as much as they do, right? We want to follow our franchise as much as they do. But because we can't, we're trying to bring as much of that kind of experience and engagement and emotion across our social channels, right? That's what we're trying to do. The shows that you've been doing over the last couple of weeks, for the first time, we've engaged in hundreds of fans who you've been talking to across India, across the world, actually, right?
Yes.
Talking about the IPL, giving people the opportunity to express their views and their opinions about their team, basically, right? So we've been doing that for our live shows. We've got something very interesting coming up called Bharat Army IPL Fan Cam, which is basically the concept behind this is the minute the match that finishes on a daily basis, we will be picking out fans to give a 60-second soundbite of their emotional reaction to their team's result. So whether they won or whether they lost, we want to hear them live on our social media, right? So if any of you guys want to get involved in that, just DM us and tell us that you want to be part of Bharat Army's IPL Fan Cam, and you could be one of the lucky ones that's selected to give your opinion on your team's performance when the match finishes, basically. We're obviously going to have, our weekly podcast or video cast where we're going to pick some of the best fans that have been on our shows, and we're going to wrap up every week of the IPL and talk about, the matches that have taken place that week and, the key discussion points. And look at some of our predictions as well, Rishi, to see how well we are against our predictions. Yeah.
Yes.
And then finally, our content on our platforms is going to look very, very different, right? So I'm not going to give too much away right now, but we've got some really exciting content planned for the IPL, which is a little bit different, a little bit more fun, a bit more color. But we want to keep you guys as fans as engaged with the IPL as possible, even though we're not allowed in the stadium. So please do continue to follow us. We're going to try and get as many fans on our live shows as possible, on our podcast, on your show, Rishi, get as many people as possible, because, we all understand how passionate, Indian cricket fans are, and everybody wants a platform to talk about their team, right? So hopefully we can give you the opportunity to do that as well.
Amazing. Some really interesting concepts coming up that's never been done by any of the fan clubs, especially, in times where fans can't make it to the ground. They can't even watch their favorite players at the stadium. So all those fans watching us, they'll be watching IPL. Look out for the content on the Bharat Army social media handles. Some really amazing stuff coming out. Well, Rakesh, thank you so much for joining us today. We know how preoccupied you've been with all the IPL cricket and work happening. It was great having you on the show. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Just one thing, last point, Rishi. I was just going to say a massive thank you for you as well, because you've taken up your weekends to host these shows. And, they've been long, they've been hard work, a lot of coordination. So just want to say a massive thank you from me to you for hosting all the shows. They've been brilliant. I'm sure the fans have all loved the shows as well. So really appreciate you doing that. And I owe you a drink next time we see each other somewhere, wherever that might be.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Well, anything for the Bharat Army and for the Indian cricket, I think the passion that we both share for cricket, I think, like I said, anything going forward for Indian cricket. Perfect. I'll now end this chat with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Take care, Rishi. Bye-bye.
Well, that was the founder of Bharat Army, Rakesh Patel, हमसे बात करते हुए, जैसा कि उन्होंने बताया अपने insights on the Mumbai Indian teams के बारे में. He's a big hardcore Mumbai Indian fans. Also हमें वो बताते हुए कि भारत आर्मी IPL में इस बारी क्या नया करने वाली है फैंस के लिए. So all those जिन्होंने वो segment miss किया है, मैं आपको बता दूं, भारत आर्मी इज कमिंग आउट विद एन इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड फैन कैंप, जहां पे हर एक मैच के बाद, हर एक आईपीएल मैच के बाद आप फैंस हमें 60 सेकेंड्स का अपना रिएक्शन रिकॉर्ड करके भेज सकते हैं। चाहे आपकी टीम जीती हो या हारी हो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आप हमें अपने रिएक्शंस भेजिए। इफ यू वांट टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस फैन कैंप, अगर आप इस फैन कैंप का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हैं, आप हमें भारत आर्मी इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट पे डायरेक्ट मैसेज कर सकते हैं। चलिए, शो का अंत होने वाला है एंड जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं, वन लकी फैन विल विन एन आईपीएल जर्सी। द लकी फैन टुडे इज सिद्धार्थ अजमेरा। Congratulations, Siddharth. One of the members from the Bharat Army will get in touch with you to jot down your details. Well, इसी के साथ we come towards the end of an amazing 3-week IPL segment on Chat with Chhabra. 8 ऐसी टीम्स जिनके बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया, क्या चांसेस हैं उनके आईपीएल जीतने के। It was great talking to so many fans from all over the world. 19 सितंबर से मैचेस शुरू होने वाले हैं। मुंबई इंडियंस play on Chennai Super Kings. Make sure you follow us on the social media handle and watch the IPL. I will be back with another show on Chat with Chhabra. Till then, take care, good night, and thank you.
ये दोस्ती अब नहीं